Hi everybody, what's going on? My name is Queen K. We're back with another interview on Crowning Convos, and we have big top badge, Lord Just Me. How you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
I am good. So glad to see you again at Live Fest one more time. Okay, so let's see what all kind of stuff you got in here and stuff. So you own the Instagram, the YouTube, and of course tag where you stream. Then you got a lot of shows and feature content. That's a lot of things you do in general. So let's see what we're gonna start with here. So karaoke and type along. I think that's a really dope concept. Of course, we love karaoke. Who doesn't? You type along.
Of course.
And you got to check to make sure folks actually know the words. Do you do that when you do the show?
I definitely be looking down there. Yeah, I definitely be looking down there, and I catch them not knowing the words, and we point them out. Yeah.
Okay, you tell them that. Okay, good. I would too. Very good. I'm good. I'm glad you do that. Okay, great. Featured show, hypothetically, of course, is Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is at Improv. I love Improv. Improv show about real life scenarios. Very dope. So I wanted to ask you this. I've been wanting to ask you this question. So when you tend to prep for these, I know you let people know, and then you kind of give them scenarios and pair them up. So do you kind of think about these things day before, day of? What is your process in getting this together?
In the beginning, I was actually coming up with the scenarios way ahead of time. I would get a lot of scenarios and then I would choose from. But what I've learned is that you just match the energy. So before I wasn't picking. Whoever signed up to do the show, I would just let them do the show. But now I pick to try to get certain energies out of people. And what I realize is when I really do it the right way, and I really choose the scenarios right before the show. Brainstorm, or I'll look in there and see who's on the show and be like, okay, I can do this with them, do this with them. But I'm seeing that when I do it that way, I end up getting people to act out scenarios that they've actually been through.
Okay. You have some good ones, I know, and I think for some of them, really funny, and I know you have like the serious ones too, so it's always nice to have that dynamic to see and things like that. So I don't know if you can think off the top of your head, but do you have like a couple favorite scenarios you've done so far you can think of?
So the one that I use all of the time is about the roommate that you leave out, go to work, and then you come home and you have two roommates now. But my favorite of all time, I'm not gonna lie, is G-Way. And what was her name? I'm sorry, you know who I'm talking about. But listen, G-Way was the slave. She was Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
The man put baby powder on his lips.
I remember that one. Everyone fell out.
Yes,
I remember that.
Yes.
Very memorable moment. We weren't expecting that. I think he got everyone on that one. So shout out to G-Way and the other young lady for that particular incident, for sure. Okay, and then I thought it was really interesting when you talk about shows. Again, you have so many. Fave Party, Lip Sync Battle with, did you say created by Sexy D? Shout out to her as well. And then Truth in a Lie is another show. Can you talk a little bit about what that show is about?
So that is new show alert, y'all. New show alert. I am one of the hosts. We're not co-hosts with Sam. I am, and Respectfully Solid, who has his own feature show already. Sam is a lawyer. I'm a man of I like to say a different background. Solid is a man of a different background. We come from different things and went through things and ended up getting here. So now you have two men that have been through some things when it comes to the law and being incarcerated and things of that nature, and a lawyer. A lot of us lose our loved ones in while they're in jail because we don't know how to navigate the system. We don't know how to move around and keep in contact, and especially when your people are older. So Sam gives us the perspective from this side of it, and then me and Solid give you guys the perspective from men who have been through some things, not just about us being in there, but also being the women that we dealt with, having to deal with our children from being in that spot and our families and trying to maintain those things at the same time.
Interesting. Okay, so you said it's new. So has it already? When is it going to start?
So the first show is actually going to air this Saturday. I'm going to do mine from here. Sam is also here. Solid is going to do his. We did a couple. We've been brainstorming more than anything because of scheduling conflicts, but now we're ready to go.
That's exciting. So what do you hope to be able to give the audience from that particular? I think it's a very unique concept for sure. So what is like the hope, or what would you like to have the audience learn, or kind of what you want to give from that particular show?
A lot of times, a lot of younger guys don't have a guy who's been through some things to lead him the right way, give him some advice or counsel. And then a lot of us are afraid to speak to lawyers because we think that they work with law enforcement. And these are the people that actually help to keep you on. So the things that we want to make sure that we do and get and achieve out of the show is giving a perspective from both sides. And also, again, I want to go back to making sure that you know how to navigate that. There's going to be people in your family, friends, whoever else that may end up in a situation. and sometimes we lose those people and they lose us too.
I love that. Very, very deep. So that's dope. Awesome. So I love, like I said, I love the concept of that, what you're trying to gain from that different perspective. Is a lot of things we can learn. So I love that you were doing that, especially as a black male in this particular space. So thank you for that. So let's dig a little deeper now. We're asking so many real other questions right here and things like that. So first thing that I definitely want to ask you is, so what's a hidden strength you didn't realize you had until life made you use it?
My hidden strength.
Yes.
To be honest with you, prayer. I tend to get people to ask me to pray for them, not knowing why they ask me to pray for them. I just talk to God when I pray, and that's my hidden strength. To be honest with you, a lot of people come in and they'll be going through things. I'll stop my stream in the middle of whatever's going on in order to tend to those people. You know what I mean? So. That's my hidden strength, and it's not really a hidden strength. You know, God works in mysterious ways, but a lot of times he works in obvious ways that we just don't tend to acknowledge.
Absolutely. He actually kind of, low-key has a sense of humor. Not ha-ha funny
yes,
sometimes.
Yes, he does.
But he definitely got a sense of humor. And you were like, you know what, you think it's funny, Big G? I don't know. I don't really agree with you.
You got
but
it,
I see you, though. You got it right. You got it. I'm listening. I hear you. That's very true. That is very true. So let's take a step back for a bit. So, you know, your journey, starting off as a content creator, kind of what got you and why? What was the why or the reason behind why you started streaming? Why did you start streaming?
I'm going to be honest, same story I always tell. Had a broken heart, didn't want to deal with anybody, kind of isolated myself. And when I was ready to deal with people, I needed to be in a space where I could cut the communication or the correspondence off at my leisure. So I found the app through that way. I was dealing with my best friend. Shout out to Fun Size. That's my best friend. She is on the app. I was in her stream a lot. One day didn't show up. She called, like, why you not here? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, it's 400 people here. I'm like, that's your stream. She's like, 380 of them are women. So they here to see you and not me. So, yeah, that's what happened. But I found it as a safe space. I didn't, it really brought me back out of my isolation, to be honest with you. I was in a bad space and it helped me.
I love that. So now that you talked about why you started at the beginning, now who you are now, so many wonderful things you've done. So proud of you for that as well. But now, has your why changed since these things have come up?
Yes, my why has definitely changed. My why now is to to provide the same space that the app provided for me. Not just this platform, but any platform, but this is my home. Tag gave me a space, and I said space, and it changed my life. So now my why is to be available for others. I call myself the janitor. I just open the doors and they come in. And most times the people, to be honest, a lot of the times the people aren't there to see me. They're there to see the people that they've created these bonds and rapports with. The stars or any other people, they go visit each other. They've created associations with each other and friendships. So now my why is to give the people what the app gave me.
I love that. So how do you deal with the pressure to perform, stay relevant, or grow numbers? How do you deal with that pressure? Because we already know you out here, you lit out here on this tag application. You've done great things. So how do you do that?
I love it. I love the pressure. I love to be in that moment. And to be honest with you, I've had some good role models. You, KOD, shout out to the whole Code family over there with Rello, Fame, now Mama. I've had some good people that I've had a chance to watch and learn from. So that keeps me moving right now. Like, I don't see y'all fold. I've never seen none of y'all fold. And to be honest, when I'm about to fold, you have this thing about yourself. I don't even be knowing. I'll be like, she in my business. How she knows I'm going through something right now? And she pop up out of nowhere and be like, hey, you got this. You're doing great. And anything else that I told her the other day, I say, what she really be telling me is, hey, don't you crash out and mess up everything you built. Don't you do it. And I appreciate that, love. I appreciate that.
Exactly. You've done so much. And, you know, I think you got 400 million diamonds on the application. You're grinding out here nominations here at Life is I mean, come on. Now, you've done so many great things, wonderful community you built. So sometimes we just need that little tap on the shoulder, like, it's okay, breathe. Yes. You know, I know it's a lot going on, but it's going to be all right. And it has. You've been doing great. You've been flourishing. So my next question for you is, what boundaries or routines help you protect your peace while being public? Because I know you have things going on outside of tag. You're trying to also deal with the stuff with that. So how do you do that with boundaries?
Boundaries are based on individuality. Your boundaries will probably be different than mine. A lot of streamers don't stream the way I do. I'm very personable. But I make sure to, again, go back to God. I keep God first. And to know that I have daughters. I have 2 daughters. I have an 18-year-old just about to graduate on the 20th. I have a 13-year-old. And those are my way that I stay grounded and keep my focus, because what I'm doing is for them. Like I said again, the app changed my life, and it put me in a position to be able to take care of them in a different way. So.
Love that, love that. So again, shout out to the Star Gang. You guys are amazing. I wanted to ask you this: what has been your most memorable moment with your community so far that you've built with them?
My most memorable moment.
And I know you have so many.
Oh,
so what's
she
a
finna
good
get me
one?
in trouble. Because if I choose some favorite moment, it's got this one favorite person. So what I'm going to say is my most memorable moment was getting my top badge with the stars. Like, I had people that were more excited than me. I had people, I had one lady, Ree, shout out Ree. Ree is the person that came up with the star. That star means standing together, always ready. This lady was so excited she ended up in the hospital. Like, to see people take on my goals, and then all of us push and do the things that we've done. That's my moments haven't stopped, to be honest. I don't think I've reached my most memorable moment.
Well, I love that. I love how you said that. That's great. That's even better. More to come. We love that. We love that. So when did you first realize your voice had influence in the live space?
Shout out ATL Quill. ATL Quill gave me a opportunity to be a part of the G Code with, again, shout out Top Badge Fame, Top Badge Rello, Top Badge KOD. When he stepped down, he gave me a space when I didn't even know that anybody knew me. I didn't know that my words were relevant. I didn't know that my content was even content at the time. I didn't even learn what that was until later. So yeah, shout out ATL Quill for giving me that space to be me.
Okay, love that, love that. So again, we kind of touched on it briefly, but again, congratulations on the 2 nominations you have this year, Live Fest 2025, Creator of the Year, okay, in Audience Engagement. What was that like? I actually was crazy. I know for me, when I heard it on the rundown, they do every week, I went over there and I was listening and I was like, oh my God. And I didn't have a chance to stay in there because I was at work, but I wanted to come over there and say hi. And I know everyone was just so supportive of you during that moment. What was that like? So to get not 1, but 2 nominations this year?
For all y'all that don't know, I was in the rundown on my other phone. I had sent the stars in there. I didn't think I was gonna get enough. After I heard the first ones, I muted it because I take it differently. Streaming is something, it's more important to me than it is to a lot of other people. It's actually my livelihood. It's what I do to take care of my family. But to hear my name mentioned with the Gunny and Stunner, to hear my name mentioned in the content category with Jamila Joy and KOD, I cried. Everybody who was in my stream know, like, it means a lot to me. So I cried. I had a moment right then and there. It was our moment, and yeah, it's big for me.
That's awesome. So I'm over here looking at these fun facts that you sent me here. So these Golden Glove boxer. Yes. I did not know that. So you have to tell me more about that. So why did you stop? Do you still do it? Like, what started that?
My father was a Navy boxing champion. Okay. And he made it mandatory for all of us to be able to protect ourselves, but honestly, he did it for us to be able to protect our sisters. Each one of the boys is attached to a sister. So that was just a thing with him, and I don't like losing. I don't like losing when I'm doing anything. And another thing I don't like is being hit. Keep your hands on my face. Keep them on my face. So I learned to move, stick and move, and do my thing. And I think it just happened like that. I love the sport, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me, but I can still take care of myself.
Awesome. I love that. I did not know that. I was really like, what? That is so cool. So we know not to mess with you. We keep our hands, like you said, to ourselves, because when you swing, it's serious.
It's going to be problems.
I'm telling you, all right now. But now you mentioned that you said streaming is your livelihood and things like that. And also, too, some interests you have, brand endorsements and acting. So kind of, do you have any type of endorsements you want? Any brands particularly you're going after? What are you?
So I actually have a couple brands. So I'm a B-Box ambassador at the moment. I also I'm an ambassador for Lucky Charms. I just received a paid ambassadorship through Dreamville. I got a lot of stuff going on with that, but I didn't even know. I think a lot of us need to understand what's going on, that if you have a brand, if you have content, if you have followers and things of that nature, that if you can get people to move and see a brand, then you can become a brand ambassador, and that helps you in anything that you do, and you can also make residuals off of it if you do it the right way.
Awesome. That's really cool. So I'm rooting for you, though, for sure. And acting, we didn't talk about that. Now, acting. So, I mean, big screen, silver screen. You know, what kind of genres are you into? Like action, doing your own stunts? What kind of acting are you doing?
I am into whatever parts they want to cast me for. I don't know nothing about acting. It just happened. Like, all of this happened, and so I think the thing about it is, when things happen and you have an opportunity, you should cultivate it.
That's true.
You should, it may not be your niche that you think. I remember when I was on the app and the people walked in the room and said, you always knew you was gonna be a star, you just didn't know it was gonna be as a streamer. Open my eyes right
Love
up.
it. Love that. Love that. And you know what? I hate this last questions. We're having so much fun. We do have to wrap this thing on up, having a great time with you. But last question for you today. What advice would you give someone trying to find their purpose or crowning moment?
You'll never really receive the joy you're supposed to out of your victories if you're comparing them to somebody else's success.
I like that.
Your success is your success. A lot of times you win and you still don't, but this person did this. Nah, take your wins. Understand that your victories come, and when they come, you accept your victories and you go on to the next thing. Don't compare your victories or your success to somebody else's, because you'll never receive the joy from it you're supposed to.
I love that. It's so easy to do that in life in general sometimes, because you're just like, you know what, I've been doing the same thing with someone else, same amount of time. They're further than me. Oh my God, I'm not where they are. But we get lost in that when we compare, and that's not what we're supposed to do. So I love that you highlighted that. So. But again, thank you so much for being on here, for your time today. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on getting your nominations. You are killing it out here. Keep going. Shout out to Star Gang. But thank y'all so much again. This has been a wonderful, another episode of Crowning Convos with me, Queen K. Catch you guys next time. Bye.
Later. Ooh, I like, you got one.